Begin with, what exactly is going to be the legal impact of these pre-owned car dealers now being considered deemed owners of the vehicles in which they are in possession of?
Yep. So it's a welcome development to the industry. That's how we are seeing it as Cars 24. Um, Now, the legal impact would be uh, it brings a lot of discipline and responsibility on the dealers of pre-owned cars, right? So let us flashback a few days ago before these rules are implemented, right? Now, what was happening at that time is when a dealer purchases a pre-owned car, the seller continued to be the owner of the vehicle, and therefore, till the time the ownership is transferred, if there are any issues related to the vehicle, be it any minor traffic violation or any major issue related to the vehicle, uh, the original seller is always bothered in the legal process and the court process. Now, with these rules, the ministry has done a very beautiful thing of introducing the concept of deemed owner, as you have already pointed out. So, the dealer who has bought the vehicle from the seller will be considered as the deemed owner of the vehicle. And therefore, the legal impact of that would be that he will be accountable for number one, the proper usage of the vehicle for only limited purposes like test drives, servicing, all those basic things which a dealer has to do, of course. And then, in case the vehicle is involved in any legal issue or a traffic violation or any other issue, the dealer will be questioned by the law enforcement agencies. The owner who has parted with the possession of the vehicle already would not be bothered, right? So with this, it gives a lot of relief to the seller who is otherwise at the mercy of the dealer to help him come out of any legal issues or any penalties associated with the vehicle. So I would see it as a welcome development to the industry.
Are there any other legal hurdles as of now in the used car industry? Any, demands or any wish lists that you think really need to be urgently addressed? And how exactly is the industry addressing this?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So, in these rules itself, there are certain requests which we have put forward to Marth, and we are sure that they are working on those things, right? Uh, First of all, we would want this whole registration process of dealer, which is now a mandatory thing, pursuant to the rule, should be inclusive so that even small dealers who don't have a GST registration number should be able to register. So that is a clarity which we have asked from Marth, because the rules are not very clear about it as to whether even small dealers who doesn't have GST registration can register themselves on the portal or not. And we are confident that Marth is going to address it anyways, right? Um, this is procedural. From a practical point of view, the biggest um, thing or the gap which the rules are yet to address is how the industry works, right? When a dealer purchases the vehicle, it's not that he will immediately sell to the end buyer only. A used car changes hands from dealer to dealer and from dealer to dealer till the time it reaches the hands of the end buyer. And that is how the industry works. Now, the rules pin the responsibility of deemed ownership on the first dealer who has purchased the car, and that deemed ownership cannot be transferred from the original dealer to the second dealer or the third dealer who has eventually bought the vehicle. The issue with this gap is that the original dealer who has become the deemed owner on record will continue to be liable for the vehicle even though he has parted with the possession of the vehicle to another dealer already. That could be a week ago or a couple of days ago or even a month ago, right? So I'm sure that Marth understands this issue and they would be working on it. And as an industry and as Cars24 on a standalone basis, also we wrote to Marth requesting to address this concern. Right. So these are the two big uh, two big concerns within the rules, which we are very hopeful that will be addressed by the ministry.
Okay, now moving on, then let's just talk about the business as a whole. Due to inflation, have you seen second-hand demand for cars, picking up? Has there been a delay in bookings or purchases?
Oh yeah, I mean the industry has been roaring. The used car industry, I would say, the demand for second-hand cars has increased manifold, and we have seen that even the budget of an average buyer of a second-hand car has increased by around 25 to 30% year on year. Right. So going by the internal analytics of Cars24 and the industry in general. Right. So there are various factors contributing towards it. First of all, the long waiting period of new vehicles, which is anyway known issue in the market as on date, and post COVID, people are more inclined towards having their own personal mode of transport wherever possible, and therefore, a second-hand car brings that immediate availability and affordability factor as well. So. As an industry, we are quite happy with the ongoing trend, and we are very bullish on this that this industry is going to increase in the forthcoming several years as well.
Can you share with us any region-specific data, any trends that you've witnessed?
Yeah, well, the broad industry numbers is what we can definitely share, right? So, uh, in FY22, there is an estimate that around 35 lakh cars or 3.5 million cars got traded in the used car segment in India, right? So that shows how mammoth the industry is, and for a fact, the used car industry is already 1.5 times bigger than the new car industry. My apologies, right? So it is already bigger than the new car industry, and this gap of different of how large the used car industry is vis-a-vis the new car industry is going to only increase as years pass by. And there is an estimate that by the year 2027, around 80 lakh used cars will be traded in market in India alone. That's a whoppingly massive number, right? And from an overall market size point of view, the current market size of the used car industry is around $23 billion as per independent market reports, and that's going to increase to something like $50 billion by the year 27. So the industry is, as I have said, repeating my own word, is roaring. It's quite exciting days ahead for used car dealers, be it a small dealer in a type 3 city, or be it a big dealer like Cars24 as well.
And what about the demand then for digital services for the car and bike purchases and sales? Is that really growing as well?
Yes. So again, we have seen this change in trend, especially after COVID. People are more inclined to get everything done from the comfort of their home. So, so a lot of customers who want to sell their car want someone from Cars24 to come to their home, inspect the car, and then conclude the transaction there. Persons who want to buy a car also make an appointment on the website of Cars24 and request for a test drive, when the vehicle will be brought to his or her home, and then and then the person can take a test drive, right? So the digitalization of this entire transaction process. See, the ultimate product is still a good. It's a commodity called a car, right? But the process is leaning towards more and more digital and more in terms of do-it-yourself model, where where the manual intervention is reducing, right? And the good part of this has to be attributed towards how the mindset of people has changed post COVID, where remote culture has kicked in, right?